Kicked out of a luxury car dealership for wearing a MAGA hat, Barron Trump's response wasn't anger. It was a movement that took the world by storm. The gleaming glass doors of Lux Auto House swung open as Barron Trump stepped inside, his tall frame and poised demeanor immediately drawing attention. He adjusted the red hat perched on his head, the familiar "Make America Great Again" emblem stitched in bold white letters catching the light. It wasn't just an accessory. It was a statement, one he carried with quiet confidence. This was no ordinary visit. In just a few weeks, he would turn 18. And today was about finding the car that matched the milestone. Inside, the air was a blend of polished leather, faint cologne, and the metallic tang of fresh machinery. Rows of luxury vehicles shimmered under strategically placed showroom lights. To most, they were cars. To Barron, they were masterpieces of engineering, each with a story to tell. He walked slowly, hands in his pockets, taking in the sweeping curves of the newest models. A silver coupe caught his eye. Its sleek profile seemed almost alive, the kind of car that promised memories before the engine even roared to life. "Excuse me," Barron said, his voice low but firm as he gestured toward the coupe. A nearby salesman glanced up, his friendly demeanor faltering for a brief moment when he noticed the hat. He hesitated but nodded, approaching cautiously. "What can I help you with?" the salesman asked, his tone polite but clipped. "I'm interested in this model," Barron replied, maintaining eye contact. "Does it come in black?" Before the salesman could answer, the showroom manager appeared, cutting between them like a cold wind. His eyes narrowed as they locked onto Barron's hat. "Can I help you?" the manager asked sharply, his lips curling into a forced smile that didn't reach his eyes. Barron, unfazed, extended his hand. "I'm looking for a car to celebrate my 18th birthday. I was hoping to learn more about this one." The manager didn't shake his hand. Instead, he crossed his arms, the smile vanishing entirely. "We don't do politics here," he said flatly. "This isn't the place for campaign gear." Barron blinked, the words hanging in the air like static electricity. "I'm not here for politics," he said calmly. "I'm here to buy a car." "Well, I suggest you take your business elsewhere," the manager retorted, his voice loud enough to turn heads. A hush fell over the showroom. Customers paused mid-conversation, their gazes darting between Barron and the manager. Barron's jaw tightened briefly, but his tone remained even. "I'm a serious buyer. Is there a reason you're asking me to leave?" The manager's expression hardened. "We reserve the right to refuse service. This is private property." For a moment the room seemed to hold its breath. Barron looked around at the stunned faces of other customers before meeting the manager's gaze. "Understood," he said quietly, turning toward the exit. As he walked out, the automatic doors whispered shut behind him, leaving the showroom in an uneasy silence. What Barron did next would not only reshape his day, but send shockwaves far beyond the showroom walls. Barron stepped into the crisp afternoon air, his mind replaying the scene that had just unfolded. The humiliation didn't sting as much as the principle of the matter. He wasn't angry. He was disappointed. For someone raised in a world where respect was non-negotiable, the encounter was a reminder of how quickly people could judge based on surface-level assumptions. He glanced back at the dealership, the reflective glass windows now masking the tense atmosphere inside. Pulling out his phone, Barron leaned against a nearby lamppost. He composed himself, opened the corporate website for Lux Auto House, and found their customer service hotline. Within minutes he was speaking to a representative. His tone was measured, detailing the events calmly and without embellishment. "I'm not asking for special treatment," he said, "but I do expect professionalism, regardless of what I'm wearing." The representative, taken aback, assured him the complaint would be escalated. But for Barron, that wasn't enough. He understood the weight of accountability and knew the situation needed sunlight to reach resolution. Just as he hung up, the sound of a notification buzzed in his pocket. His story was already gaining traction. Unbeknownst to him, a customer from the showroom had witnessed the entire ordeal and recorded it. The video, titled "Luxury Car Dealership Kicks Out Young Customer Over MAGA Hat," was making its rounds on social media. Barron watched the footage in silence. The camera caught every word, every sneer from the manager, and every ounce of composure Barron maintained. The comments section was a firestorm. some applauding his grace under pressure, others condemning the manager's actions. The video racked up thousands of views in hours, with hashtags like #respect all customers and #kindness over politics trending alongside it. Rather than feeling vindicated, Barron saw the bigger picture. This wasn't just about him. It was about how easy it was for biases to overshadow common decency. He decided to take control of the narrative. That evening, seated at a mahogany desk in his family's Palm Beach home, Barron began drafting a message. It wasn't a rant or an attack. It was a call for unity. He spoke about the importance of mutual respect, even when opinions differed. "Kindness isn't political," he wrote, "and it costs nothing." He attached the message to a retweet of the video, adding, "Thanks to everyone who has shared their thoughts. Let's use this moment to remind ourselves of what really matters: respect." The post would go viral overnight, but the true ripple effects were yet to come. By dawn, Barron's tweet had exploded across social media, garnering millions of views, likes, and retweets. Influential figures weighed in, from celebrities to business leaders, with many praising his calm response and others demanding accountability from Lux Autohaus. News outlets picked up the story, running headlines like "Young Trump responds to discrimination with poise" and "Luxury dealership faces backlash for bias incident." Meanwhile, the dealership was scrambling. The corporate office issued a statement apologizing for the unprofessional actions of an individual manager, promising an internal investigation. But the damage was already done. Customers flooded the dealership's review pages, sharing their disgust and vowing never to shop there again. Former employees came forward, anonymously recounting their own negative experiences with the same manager. Barron watched the coverage with a mixture of disbelief and determination. This wasn't how he had envisioned spending the days leading up to his birthday, but he felt a responsibility to turn the moment into something positive. As he scrolled through the comments, one stood out. "Imagine what we could do if everyone handled conflict with this level of maturity. Barron, you should lead a campaign for respect and kindness." The comment planted a seed. What if this incident could inspire a broader conversation? What if people could move past their biases and start seeing each other as individuals instead of labels? With the idea simmering, Barron reached out to his team. He didn't want this to be about him or his name. It had to be about the message. Together they began brainstorming ideas for a campaign centered on mutual respect, regardless of political, social, or cultural differences. But first, Barron had unfinished business. He still wanted his dream car. What he did next would not only fulfill his wish but send a powerful message to the world. Later that day, Barron made a decision that would turn the story on its head. Instead of dwelling on the negative experience, he set his sights on another luxury car brand known for its innovation and inclusivity, Orem Motors. Their vehicles were just as prestigious, and their values aligned with the message Barron wanted to amplify. Barron reached out to their corporate office personally, explaining the situation in detail. The company's leadership responded swiftly, offering him a private tour of their flagship dealership in Miami, Florida. They saw an opportunity, not just to sell a car, but to stand behind a message of unity and respect. 2 days later, Barron arrived at Orem Motors. This time, the reception was vastly different. A senior executive greeted him at the door, shaking his hand warmly. The atmosphere inside the showroom was welcoming, and Barron took his time exploring the models. Eventually, he landed on the Orem Apex, a sleek jet-black electric car that combined cutting-edge technology with timeless design. While completing the purchase, Barron proposed an idea. "What if we turned this moment into something bigger?" he suggested. "A campaign about respect. Not just in business, but in everyday life." The executives loved the idea. Within hours, plans were set in motion. Orem Motors agreed to sponsor a nationwide campaign, with Barron as the face of the movement. Together, they announced the initiative, Drive Respect. Its mission was simple: promoting kindness, understanding, and professionalism across all walks of life. The campaign launch coincided with Barron's 18th birthday. A promotional video showcased him receiving his dream car, not as a celebration of wealth or status, but as a symbol of resilience and the power of turning negativity into progress. "Respect isn't just something we ask for. It's something we give," Barron said in the video. "Let's drive it forward." But the impact of this campaign would reach far beyond the car dealership floor. The Drive Respect campaign quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The hashtag #DriveRespect trended for weeks, with people sharing their own stories of encountering bias and the ways they responded with grace and kindness. Social media filled with images and videos of individuals wearing T-shirts bearing the campaign slogan, standing beside their cars, and pledging to treat others with dignity, regardless of their differences. Schools, community centers, and businesses began adopting the campaign's principles, hosting workshops and discussions on the importance of respect and understanding in both personal and professional spaces. Even competing car brands showed support, sharing the campaign on their platforms. Meanwhile, Lux Auto House struggled to recover. The manager who had dismissed Barron was terminated following the internal investigation, but the damage to the dealership's reputation lingered. Customers continued to boycott, and the dealership faced a significant drop in sales. Barron, however, refused to gloat. When asked about Lux Auto House in an interview, he simply said, "The goal isn't to tear people down, it's to build bridges. I hope they learn from this." The movement also garnered attention from public figures across the political spectrum. Many applauded Barron's maturity, with some noting that his actions transcended partisan divides. He became a symbol of how individuals can rise above conflict and turn moments of disrespect into opportunities for growth and unity. Barron's father, former President Donald Trump, weighed in on the campaign during a rally, expressing pride in his son's composure and vision. "Barron showed what it means to stand tall and lead with class," he said. The comment further fueled public interest in the campaign, though Barron remained careful to keep the focus on its universal message. As the weeks passed, Drive Respect evolved into more than just a campaign. It became a movement that inspired changes at the corporate level, encouraging companies to train employees on professionalism and bias awareness. Barron, now firmly in the public eye, continued to advocate for the cause, attending events, delivering speeches, and partnering with organizations to expand the campaign's reach. But it wasn't just the public impact that made this journey unforgettable. There was a deeply personal lesson Barron would carry forward for the rest of his life. On the evening of his 18th birthday, Barron sat on the terrace of his family's Palm Beach estate, the Orem Apex parked in the driveway below. The setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, and the hum of the ocean provided a soothing backdrop. It was a moment of quiet reflection, a pause amidst the whirlwind of the past few weeks. His phone buzzed on the table. It was a text from his mother, Melania. "I'm proud of you. You turned something hurtful into something meaningful. That's strength." Barron smiled, feeling the weight of her words. It wasn't just about the campaign, the car, or the media frenzy. It was about the choices he made along the way. For Barron, the greatest takeaway wasn't the public recognition, but the realization of how much power lay in his response to adversity. He could have let anger or frustration dictate his actions, but instead, he chose patience, respect, and determination. It was a choice that had transformed a single moment of humiliation into a message that resonated with millions. He thought back to the encounter at Lux Auto House. The manager's words had stung, but they had also sparked something greater, a chance to prove that respect shouldn't depend on status, beliefs, or appearances. It was a principle he hoped others would embrace, no matter their background. As the stars began to dot the sky, Barron recorded a short video message for his followers, his voice calm and steady. "Today isn't just about my birthday," he said. "It's about realizing that we all have the power to choose kindness, even when it's not given to us. Let's keep driving respect forward, together." The video quickly went viral, becoming a powerful capstone to the campaign. People across the country, from small-town mechanics to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, shared it with messages of support. The simple yet profound lesson, that respect could transcend politics, power, and prejudice, became a rallying cry for unity. As the video ended, Barron left his audience with a challenge. The next time someone treats you unfairly, take a deep breath and ask yourself how you can respond with kindness. It might not be easy, but it can change everything. And if you believe in this message, share it. Let's make respect go viral. Barron's story wasn't just about a car or a campaign.